国姓爷为可郑成功。国姓爷 has been born to drive out the Dutch rule because 国姓爷 was born in 1624 when the Dutch people landed in Anping in Taiwan. And when 国姓爷 expelled the Dutch people, he died almost in the same year. So he was born to expel the Dutch people. So 国姓爷 never ruled Taiwan for a long time, only about 6 months. The only person who ruled Taiwan is his son, we call Chung-Hsin. To help Chung-Hsin, there is a famous general, and actually is the prime minister of our country at that time. That is Chen Yonghua. What I mentioned just now, that is Chen Yonghua. Kangxi Emperor would like the Taiwan kingdom because Chen Yonghua advised Chung-Hsin to establish Taiwan kingdom. We call it Dongling Wangguo. They established this kingdom in 1664, and the Qing dynasty, Kangxi Emperor, would like Dongling kingdom to be subordinate to China. But Chen Yonghua said no. So from that time, the Kangxi Emperor began to attack Taiwan. But during the lifetime of Chung-Hsin and Chen Yonghua, 19 years, Kangxi did not defeat Taiwan. Why? Because at that time, Taiwan's economy was so prosperous. Because Chen Yonghua advised Chung-Hsin to do as the Dutch people do. That is, I am not going to trade with China. I trade with Japan through Zheng Bin. I trade with Southeast Asia. And this south and northbound trade is so lucrative. I have no need to trade with China, except for some piracy. So you can see this kind of north and southbound trade is good for Taiwan. Chen Yonghua no. And Chen Yonghua searched everywhere for Taiwan talents. Oh, we got sunshine here, and we got seawater. Okay, then we make salt. Oh, here this grass is good, and so we use the grass to make our products. So we have to find what we Taiwanese have, and rely on it to do international trade. That is what Chen Yonghua tells us. The north and southbound trade for Taiwan is good. Our ancestors tell us very carefully, very detailedly, clearly. 你若去台北市的迪化街，还是去台南市的水仙街，你甲问讲头家，你咧卖啥物货？恁听无？伊会甲你讲，我咧卖南北货。你若甲问讲，你哪卖东西货？伊会甲你讲，东西货是啥物东西？咱的祖先呢，就是甲咱讲爱卖南北货，才有几多的差别，才有理顺啊。所以讲，当咱 when we Taiwanese people use Keelung and Kaohsiung, we Taiwanese become rich. So that is why when in 1895 Japanese came to Taiwan, they built Keelung to replace Danshui Port. They built Kaohsiung Port, actually Takao Port, to replace Anping. The Japanese went to Keelung to ask our ancestors, what is the name of this place? Our ancestors say, Gelang. Gelang is for raising chicken, right? OK， 所以
即我唔人聽講就聽冇嘅。
哦，
呢個唔講啊。
有啦，有啦。
但係講法較親切。
I have to do some compromise。你若要聽台語嘅吼，我後轉吼專門來講出台語。
我想聽有啲人聽冇。
台灣 looking forward。
我想聽人聽冇，像你講較親切啊。
有啊，就是有啦，係啦。我有問我走OK， 好。你若是聽到南北話，你知講問題講較清楚。我知啊，問題這個我懂。OK， so you can see north-southbound trade is good for Taiwan. So Japanese will also know that. Japanese went to Kilong to ask our ancestors what is the name of this place. Our ancestors, Gelang is for raising chicken, right? Japanese said, no, that is not very educated words. I preserve your pronunciation, but I try to find two good Chinese characters, kanji, to show the place. That is Kilong, Jilong. Jilong is Gelang. If you use Japanese to pronounce this Jilong, it's Kilong, Gelang. And then ask our ancestors in Takao, Kaohsiung, what is the name of your place? Takao. Oh, Takao. That is not good for animal protection, right? But I preserve the pronunciation. Takao. So Japanese find two words. Taka, Hai, O, Xiong, Kaohsiung for this place. But we Taiwanese does not want to preserve the pronunciation, so we call it Kaohsiung. Actually, Takao is better. Takao is better. And Kaohsiung, they are all good Chinese characters, good kanji, right? It shows Japanese treasure this island. So make the best use of this island. And what is good for Japan, they do it. So they build Kilong Port and the Kaohsiung Port. And then the international trade has changed from east-westbound trade to north-southbound trade. And during Japanese period, Taiwan's economy prospered so much, and the Taiwanese people enjoyed their good life during that 50 years. And not just Japanese, no, Taiwan should do north-southbound trade. You and my fathers, they also know. So in 1960s and from 1960 to 1990s, 1980s actually, these 30 years, Taiwan is called economic miracle. Economic miracle. Because Red China, during that period, is iron countries. They are not open to the world. And we Taiwanese people engage in northbound trade with Japan, and then from Kilong to Yokohama, and then to California. So this kind of northbound trade to the world, to the west world, and the southbound trade from Takao, Kaohsiung, to Indonesia, Singapore, and then to Europe. So we have a very wonderful economic performance during these economic periods. So from these 4 periods, we can summarize that we Taiwanese people should use Kilong Port and Kaohsiung Port to do northbound and southbound trade with the world. That is historical fact. Nobody can persuade me. And I use this argument to persuade all my countrymen. Even you are uneducated, they follow me because that is really, really true. Okay, then what happened during the Qing dynasty? Qing dynasty, we use Anping Port and Danshui Port to have a free trade with China because we are a part of Qing Emperor at that time. So the trade between these two areas is free, But unfortunately, southern China has the same latitude with Taiwan, and we have the same climate. What we can grow in Taiwan, they can grow in China, and their land is much broader than Taiwan's, and their population is much larger than Taiwan. Their labor is cheaper. So that is why our ancestors taught us to sell 南北货, 南北货, not to have a free trade in terms of agricultural goods with China. Otherwise, we become poor and poorer, like Qing dynasty. That is true. The second empirical evidence is 1945 to 1947. During this period, Taiwan has been combined with China, and at that time, Taiwan's economy deteriorated so fast. So you can see west and eastbound trade is totally bad for Taiwan. The second phase, the second period, beginning from 1987. 1987, during the rule of Chiang Ching-kuo, he allowed older mainlander citizens to visit China, and at the same time allow private investment there, and at the same time raise the value of new Taiwan dollars to US dollars from $40 new Taiwan dollars for $1 to 26 new Taiwan dollars for $1. So quite a lot of Taiwanese business relocated in China, invest in China from that time. So Taiwan's economy is deteriorating a bit from that time. But what is a crisis for us? That is ECFA. ECFA is an interim agreement leading FTA. The transition period is at most 10 years. We signed ECFA with China 2010. So 2 years has passed. And we have 8 more years. After this transition period, unless we Taiwanese decided to accept one country, two systems, and treat Taiwan as a part of China, so that WTO rule, that is international rule, does not apply to Taiwan and China. Otherwise, we have to comply with WTO rule. That is, we have to engage in substantially free trade in goods and services. Substantially free trade in goods and services. That is free trade in substantially products. And that is a tragedy for Taiwan. That will be a tragedy for Taiwan. Because even after these 8 years, I think most of the Taiwanese will not accept Taiwan is a part of China and apply one country, two systems to Taiwan. So that is Chinese products will be totally free traded in Taiwan, and Chinese services center will be totally open into Taiwan market. And why we know this? Because our ancestors taught us that we have to do north and southbound trade. But we signed ECFA with China without at the same time establishing free trade with Japan, NAFTA, Southeast Asia, and Europe. Then Japanese language is different from ours. English is different from ours. Indonesia, they speak Malay. And Japan is quite far away. US is even far away. And